Imagine leaving a humble farm where every penny is hard-earned and reaching the pinnacle of the billionaire world without ever seeking fame or ostentation. This is the story of David Cheriton, a man who transformed his passion for knowledge into a silent empire. You will discover how an apparently small investment forever changed his life and the future of technology. But beware, this is not just a story about money, it is a lesson about vision, simplicity, and real-world impact. Stay until the end and learn how this story could change the way you think about success. Have you ever heard of David Cheriton? Probably not. While billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos grace magazine covers, Cheriton has stayed in the shadows, far from the spotlight. But his story is one of the most impressive in the financial world. He didn't inherit wealth, didn't found a major company, and didn't seek status. Yet he became one of the wealthiest men in the world with a single decision. If you want to understand how one choice can change everything and how to apply that to your own life, watch this video until the end. In the final chapter, we'll reveal the greatest secret behind Cheriton's success, a secret few know. Now, let's start this inspiring journey. Born in a small village in Canada, David Cheriton grew up surrounded by wheat fields and cattle. His father, a tireless farmer, and his mother, a passionate teacher, taught him two essential things: the value of hard work and the transformative power of knowledge. From a young age, David knew that his mind yearned for something beyond the limits of the farm. While other boys dreamed of inheriting their parents' land, he dreamed of numbers, algorithms, and infinite possibilities. At the age of 12, he traded hours of hard work on the farm for precious moments with math and physics books. But every day in the field reminded him that to change his life, he would need to challenge fate. "If you want something bigger, you'll have to build it with your own hands," his father would say. And that's exactly what he did. The transition from the farm to university wasn't easy. Without money and influential contacts, David faced immense challenges. He worked during the day and studied at night, taught fellow students to pay the bills, and turned down any unnecessary luxuries. His resilience caught the attention of professors and peers, laying the foundation for a future even he couldn't imagine. What happened next was a true turning point. A single decision, a $100,000 investment, not only made him a billionaire, but also helped shape the future of technology. But how did he get to that decisive moment? Keep watching to discover the twist that changed everything. David's desire to learn led him to seek opportunities beyond the farm. With great effort, he managed to get into the University of Alberta. For many in his community, leaving the farm to study seemed like a distant dream, but he was determined. He didn't just want to understand the world, he wanted to transform it. Financial challenges were enormous. David balanced his studies with small jobs to support himself. He repaired computers, taught calculus to peers, and even cleaned classrooms at night. Despite the hardships, nothing stopped him from continuing his academic journey. His talent caught the attention of renowned professors, who encouraged him to move to Stanford, where his life would take an unexpected turn. Stanford was a universe completely different from the farm where he had grown up. There, he met brilliant and innovative students who shared his passion for technology. During his research, he encountered two young entrepreneurs, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They were developing a revolutionary search engine called Google. David saw the potential in the idea immediately. While other investors hesitated, he trusted the founder's vision and made an initial investment of $100,000 in the startup. Little did he know that this decision would make him one of the first investors in the technological empire that would change the world. Many called him a visionary, but he always remained humble. To him, the investment was a bet on knowledge and innovation. What set him apart from other investors was his unwavering belief in the power of ideas. The following years saw explosive growth for Google, and David watched his initial investment multiply in an incredible way. Even as a billionaire, his essence didn't change. He continued teaching, researching, and contributing to education. The meeting between David Cheriton, Larry Page, and Sergey Brin seemed destined. The two young visionaries were convinced they had a revolutionary technology, but they needed support to take it forward. Cheriton, with his sharp vision, immediately recognized the impact Google could have on the world. While many investors rejected the idea as risky, David saw something others didn't. He believed in the power of technology to transform how people access and share information. With a simple signature on a $100,000 check, he became one of the first investors in Google. That investment changed his life, but also changed the world. Google grew exponentially and became one of the pillars of the modern internet. Within a few years, the company was worth billions, and Cheriton's fortune grew alongside it. Despite his wealth, David never abandoned his passion for teaching. He continued lecturing at Stanford University, helping to shape new, bright minds. To him, knowledge was always the greatest asset. He also began investing in other promising startups, always with the same approach to support innovations that could transform the world. Over the years, he became one of the most respected investors in Silicon Valley. However, as his fortune grew, his lifestyle remained the same. No private jets or extravagant mansions. He continued driving his simple car and living with the same humility as always. David Cheriton proved that true success isn't just about accumulating wealth, but using knowledge to create impact. And this lesson continues to inspire entrepreneurs to this day. Google's success was meteoric. David, who never had ambitions for fame or ostentation, became a billionaire practically overnight. But, unlike other investors who delighted in yachts and lavish mansions, he continued living a simple life. While the spotlight turned to the big names in technology, David chose to remain discreet. He kept his routine as a professor at Stanford, teaching young students who shared his passion for computer science. To him, the true power of wealth was in education and the ability to impact future generations. Even with billions in the bank, his home remained modest. His habits didn't change. He didn't swap cars, invest in luxury watches, or care about extravagant dinners. His true pleasure came from knowledge and the satisfaction of seeing his students grow and innovate in the tech world. Many wondered how someone so rich could live with such simplicity. But for David, the answer was clear. Money is just a tool. What matters is what you do with it. Despite his discretion, he began to be seen as an example of humility in Silicon Valley. Young entrepreneurs sought his advice, impressed by his worldview, and even without wanting the spotlight, David was becoming a living legend of technology. His impact wasn't limited to the classrooms. He quietly invested in groundbreaking research, helping to shape the future of computing. But for him, nothing surpassed the joy of teaching. If knowledge brought me here, it can take anyone, he would say. David knew that money could change lives, but he believed knowledge had an even greater power. He used his influence to open doors for young talents and ensure the next generation had access to the opportunities he never had. Even surrounded by luxuries he could afford, his greatest ambition remained teaching. And that, more than his fortune, was what truly made him great. Unlike traditional billionaires, David never sought the spotlight. He continued wearing simple clothes and rejecting extravagance. While the media wondered why he didn't flaunt his fortune, he dedicated himself to funding research and educational projects. He believed knowledge was the key to transforming the world. That's why he quietly invested in initiatives that promoted innovation and access to education. His commitment to education made him one of the biggest anonymous philanthropists in the academic field. Instead of building luxury empires, he funded research that could impact millions of lives. For him, the greatest wealth was the possibility of transforming the future through knowledge. In his view, the impact we leave on the world is more valuable than any bank balance. That's why he focused his efforts on ensuring that his fortune was used for something greater than himself. Many believed David could build his own empire in Silicon Valley, but he never wanted that path. For him, the real revolution happened in the classroom, where young, brilliant minds could be honed to create the future. Even when giant companies approached him for investments, he was selective. He only invested in what he truly believed in, without interest in immediate financial return. His focus was on impact. David showed the world that success doesn't need to come with ostentation, that it's possible to be a billionaire and still live a simple, meaningful life, and that in the end, the greatest legacy we can leave is the knowledge we share. Even as a billionaire, David Cheriton never forgot his roots. Unlike so many others who cut ties with their past, he made sure to return to his hometown, revisit the fields where he grew up and support local farmers. Over the years, he financed agricultural modernization programs, helping small farms adopt technology and increase their productivity. "Progress must be shared or it doesn't make sense," he said. His involvement with education didn't stop either. He created foundations to ensure that talented young people had access to quality education regardless of their social class. He saw knowledge as the key to breaking cycles of poverty and limitation. Even among eccentric billionaires, his minimalist, impact-driven lifestyle stood out. For David, success was never about accumulation, but about transforming realities. His legacy wasn't just in making the right investments, but in the positive impact he created without needing the spotlight. True wealth to him was the ability to leave the world better than he found it. David Cheriton's story is more than a tale of financial ascension. It's a powerful reminder that true success comes from perseverance, knowledge, and humility. Unlike many who seek only to accumulate wealth, Cheriton found fulfillment by positively impacting the lives of others. His legacy is measured not just in billions of dollars, but in the transformation he brought to countless students, researchers, and entrepreneurs. Now the question is, how can you apply these lessons in your own life? What's within your reach to build a better future for yourself and others? If you enjoyed this inspiring story, subscribe to the Humble Billionaire channel on YouTube and discover how to achieve financial freedom in an intelligent way. In the next video, you'll learn the story of the millionaire janitor, Theodore Johnson. Despite earning a low salary, Theodore saved and invested part of what he earned in the company he worked for. Over his life, he accumulated $70 million without anyone knowing. Don't miss this incredible lesson on financial discipline and smart investing.